Hello and welcome again. Today we're going to move on from talking about leadership theory to start talking about change and how change is treated in your business and how you approach change. Now, change is often seen as a threat. Indeed, instinctively as humans, we will see and treat organisational change as a threat. It's an unknown. And it can invoke quite serious, deep, sharp reactions. Because people don't like uncertainty. They react against it. They need to keep the status quo because that represents safety. And individual team members will often not see the bigger picture that you can. That change is a business essential, that it's about efficiency, greater productivity, it's about better customer service, or merging business units after an acquisition, or a new culture, whatever it is. Whatever change, instinctively, human beings will see it as a threat to the order of their environment, and they'll react against it. So what this means as a leader is that we are often facing change and having to impose change on our teams. And that is always creating a challenge for us. Even if your team says, yes, I embrace change, that's great. The reality is that part of their brain is still fighting against it, wary of that threat. So we've got to be aware of that, conscious of that. But as a leader, we are almost never going to be in a situation of simply guarding the status quo and about administering some steady process. Because if that's what we were doing, we'd be a manager. We'd be managing a ordered, safe process. But as a leader, you're making a change, you're making a difference. So you're going to be facing this challenge all the time. Now, how do we get around that? There's a whole raft of different ways that we can approach change and we can manage change. And we talk a little bit about that in the text. But the fundamental point is for us as individuals to define change as normal, that a constant state of change is normal. And we must encourage our teams to see that and create a structure, a framework around that so that our teams know that, yes, things are going to change. Things are constantly change, but in an ordered, structured way to take out the threat from that. So the task today, having read the text, of course, is to think about how change is perceived within your business. Listen out for what people are saying and listen to your own inner dialogue, the thoughts going on in your head about how you treat change. Is it a threat? Or is it an opportunity? Is it a radical, threatening change, or is it business as usual? So have a think about that, how you approach change, how the business approaches change, and read the text to get some more ideas about how you can produce structure, order, certainty, predictability around the natural disorder and chaos that is change. So have a reflection on that. And then tomorrow we'll start to look at how we adapt leadership styles to changing situations.